You're listening to the podcast about little-known niche subcultures and hobbies that reintroduces you to your neighbors in Technicolor. I'm Leslie Thompson, and it's niche to meet you. Hey, listener. Welcome back. It's been a big week in Niche Nation with a debut on NPR's Morning Edition. If you didn't hear about that and didn't hear the story, check the link in the show notes. But what you're about to hear is an entirely new piece based on the reporting I did for the Professional Santa series, Niche to Meet You, released last year. There's also a link in the show notes for this, too. There's some brand new tape in this piece you're about to hear from an event here in Nashville a few weeks ago with adorable children's voices. This is a 13-minute story. I'll call it a vignette. And I did it for a local news outlet here in Nashville. It ran on the Nashville Banner. It's a completely locally owned, community-supported, independent, nonpartisan news organization in town. They love to tell local stories that are deeply embedded in the community. And honestly, this was the first of what I hope to be a lot of collaborations with the Banner, because it offers a way for the stories that I tell here to be made hyperlocal, to be localized in my own community. And that actually supports the Niche to Meet You mission. I think that ultimately, these stories that we talk about here, that you listen to, they should inspire and encourage you to explore your own corners of the universe where you can find meaning and belonging, find your niche, if you will. And then next week, I'm going to deliver one final Christmas gift for you. Actually, like 7 Santas are delivering it. It's a reading of the poem "'Twas the Night Before Christmas," performed by a handful of the Santas heard in the full series. We did this last year. It's called "'Twas the Niche Before Christmas." It might be an annual tradition. I don't know. Stick around. But right now, enjoy this brand new story about Santa's Shed and George and the Santas of Color Coalition, and thank you to the Nashville Banner for making it happen.
Well, it's December, and whether you approach this part of the year celebrating a specific holiday or not, you will inevitably find yourself around the character of Santa Claus. And today, many are undertaking the task of portraying him professionally. They go to Santa schools. They spend thousands on Santa suits, and for some of them, their work means more than just pretending to be a mythical character. It's a calling for them to serve their communities in a unique way.
For a little kid, I represent something, right?
This is Shedrick Webster. He lives in Clarksville and serves all of Middle Tennessee as our premier Black Santa, among a lot of other things.
I run basketball tournaments for kids. I'm heavily involved politically in my area where I do political interviews and sit down and talk with candidates on both sides of the aisle about a lot of issues. But being Santa is a fun thing for me. And it's a time of the year for me that it gives me a chance to really connect with kids and families in a way that I saw was a gap in the market.
Okay, people, tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Santa's coming to town.
Santa here? I know him. I know him.
Think of all the Christmas movies that contain the character of Santa, like Ed Asner's portrayal in Elf, or Marty, the local Santa Claus in Christmas with the Cranks.
Santa always has to work on Christmas Eve.
Or how about the one telling Ralphie he'll shoot his eye out?
Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho.
Okay, one more. What about Kris Kringle, the gentle and kind man in a courtroom defending his legal identity in Miracle on 34th Street?
Since the United States government declares this man to be Santa Claus, this court will not dispute it. Case dismissed.
All of these Santas are white, and that's because the image of Santa derived from a single poem published in 1823 called A Visit from St. Nicholas. But you might know it better as "'Twas the Night Before Christmas."
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the home not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
The original poem collected all the many Santa Christmas traditions from around the globe, and it was the inspiration for an artist named Thomas Nast to create the iconic Santa Claus illustrations that define the image of Santa Claus to this day.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all, good night.
Now, while it is true that much of the Santa lore over hundreds of years emerged from European and Nordic traditions,
The children who write to Santa every year all across the globe come from all backgrounds. And it's for that reason that having Black Santas matters.
Representation matters. We need representation at the highest forms of our government. We need representation at the lowest forms of our government. We need representation as for teachers in the classroom. We need representations for doctors. I can go be a doctor. It would take me 10 to 15 years to go be a doctor right now. It would take me years and years to be able to own an NFL franchise, but I can go be Santa right now. But we need representation there. Maybe I can try this. Maybe I can go out and be Santa just to spread love and hope and joy. That was a space that I felt like I could nestle in and give some context to this representation.
Regardless of the extent to which we believe Santa to be a real person who comes down our chimneys on Christmas Eve, the character is everywhere this time of year. He ends parades. He stands outside stores sometimes for the Salvation Army to collect donations, and he's the center of attention most anywhere he shows up. The figure plays an important role in a community's collective holiday experience. He's a reflection of our own humanity at its best.
I reflect hope. I reflect the hope of God, and then I reflect the hope that he emits from other people. Man, I walk into a room in the big red suit, and a 4-year-old runs up to me and gives me a hug. All I can do is just reflect what he's giving me.
There's another Black Santa, a colleague of Shed's, named George Smithers. He actually spent 2 days at the Green Hills Mall this year as one of their Santas. It was looking back at old photos that George felt a calling. He came across one from the 3rd grade when his mom took him and his sister to see the local Santa who was white. Looking at that photo decades later, he noticed something he hadn't before.
The Santa wouldn't even look at the camera. So it was a profile picture of him, but we were facing the camera. Smiling, my mom had to pay for that picture.
He said that his mother cherished it, but he couldn't understand why she bought it at all. He showed the picture to his older brother, who remembered a photo their cousin showed him from the 1950s, where the Santa was also looking to the side while the little black boy on his lap smiled, glowing.
So I said, I wonder how many other black kids got pictures like this. And lo and behold, a woman from Texas sent me a picture of her and her sister. Santa's facing forward, but he's looking down. Then Kim Fields, the actress, Kim Fields, posted one on Facebook of her mom and sister as children with the white Santa, the exact same profile.
George knew this was why he was needed as a Black Santa.
They have a Santa who wants to be there, who wants to engage with them, who wants to make their experience an experience of excellence. So it is important for us, especially this day and age, to do what we're doing because it's going to impact the lives of children for generations.
Santas like Shed and George take this work seriously. They are professionals. They go to meetups and attend Santa schools. But they found that they have needs some of those places are not prepared to meet.
My beard is different than your beard. What you can use in yours, I can't use in mine. But during the classes, they don't talk about my beard care. When they talk about doing makeup, my skin is oily, so you have to powder me before you put makeup on me. They never talk about that.
So Shed and other prominent Black Santas across the U.S. started the Santas of Color Coalition, which puts on trainings and acts as a support group for Santas and Mrs. Clauses of color. This summer's meetup in Louisville, Kentucky, brought Mr. and Mrs. Clauses from as far as upstate New York to convene over topics like storytelling, uniform care, and yes, of course, beard care.
The size of my beard is just as long as the rest of my beard.
because when I put it together, when I get done, it sits right where it's supposed to be.
That's Santa D from Georgia, who has a pristine, white, and very admirable beard.
Along with the workshops like that one, there was a parade where the Santas donned in full uniform proceeded to the Louisville Slugger Stadium to catch the game.
Santas of Color Coalition.
The work of SHED and the Santas of Color Coalition is resonating because it's meeting a need.
Last year, I'm standing in the Slim and Huskies location in Antioch, and families are coming through, and one family in particular comes up. It's a white lady and then someone else about her age, so it's her sister, and then their mother, and then these little black children. She was a foster family, and they want to make sure they found a Santa that represented their children. She tells me they're from Fort Worth, Texas. Her sister lives in Antioch. And so they said, hey, we have two purposes for Christmas this year. One, we want our foster kids to meet our family, but two, we want to make sure they meet a black Santa.
And that need, it's not just felt by kids.
I've had 80-year-old women of different hues say with tears in their eyes, I've never seen a black Santa before. I'm honored to be able to see a black Santa. Hug me tighter than anybody else. Hug me tighter than any kid has ever hugged me. Little old lady wrapped her arms around me as much as she possibly could.
This year alone, Shed and his team of Middle Tennessee Black Santas will be at multiple events across the country. But the first week in December, he took the stage, as he always does, at the National Museum of African American Music in downtown Nashville. This was his third year as the Santa for their annual tree lighting event, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving.
I love this event. This is my premier event of the year. I won't book anything else that will interfere with this event. I'm honored they asked me to come the first year. What's great is seeing families that post pictures from multiple years. And so it shows our growth and their growth. It shows the change in my face. It shows the change in the kids' faces. It's really cool to see those things.
This is year 3 for Shed doing this event. And one of those kids he's seen grown up through the years is Maya, whose mom works in IT for the museum.
What do you love about Santa?
His goofy personality and also how he spreads hope.
Tell me about how he spreads hope.
He brightens other kids' mood when they feeling down or feeling bad about something. And he's really nice. I think all Santas are good and has all Christmas spirit.
Kids like Maya had absolutely no hesitations for telling Santa what they wanted under the tree this year, like Zuri.
What did you tell Santa?
That I wanted a Barbie doll house for Christmas.
Yes, Santa left the museum with a big to-do list. But he was there for the parents too, like Sean Jackson, a local real estate developer, who I spoke with while the kids were learning how to play spoons from a local elder.
I can't recall ever seeing a black Santa. What I can recall is waking up when I wasn't supposed to be awake and seeing my mom and dad putting together the train set. And for me, that's when I discovered, oh, it's really my parents. But in terms of a black Santa, no. I can't say that I ever saw that.
So what does it mean to you to have your children get to see a Santa that looks closer to them?
It's important. You know, my kids are really like multicultural, but for them to see a black Santa is really, really important, especially with where we are as a nation right now. That is critical.
For another parent, Alyssa Turturro, who works for the museum now, but was a preschool director, having a black Santa matters for kids because of how they see themselves in the Christmas season.
You see yourself more in Christmas, right? Yes, Christmas is for everybody, but knowing that Santa looks like you, would come to your neighborhood or spend time with your family, it feels more realistic and inclusive than some weird old guy that lives at the North Pole that I would never meet.
Alyssa's son Lorenzo, who by the way has met Shed 5 times in his short life already, added this.
It makes me feel like every culture could have their own kind of Santa, and any Santa is a Santa still.
At the end of the night, after all the music and celebration had finished, there was one final order of business: lighting the Christmas tree, with Santa shed close at hand, almost to give his official stamp of approval upon the holiday season's beginning.
2, 1, light them up! All right, look at it, it's so pretty, it's so beautiful. Happy holidays from Mayman. The tree is lit.
And when kids come and see me, I pray that I give them the hope they're looking for. And that's what we talk about, right? That's why we do this.
I hope you enjoyed this episode, my new niche buddy. There are more episodes waiting for you wherever you're listening to this one right here, right now. So go find them, like our episode about dog agility, or like vintage car radio restoration. There is so much more to be found in the Nicheverse. I'm so glad to have had you with us. Don't be a stranger. We'll see you next time.